Hi, my name is Abigail Shoop, and this is my capstone project called Teaching the Power of Language. So, going into this project, I primarily wanted to look at how students perform research, what we teach them about argument and research, and why it matters. As a seventh grade English language arts teacher, I find that a lot of my students just want the quickest and easiest answer, the first thing that comes up in a quick Google search. And in order to combat that, I really try to help them evaluate the credibility of a source, give them steps for how to do that, help them come up with effective search terms, and also provide them information on the parts of an argument, how to identify the parts of an argument, as well as how to create their own arguments in writing and orally. So for this project, I went all the way back to Aristotle, looking at his key components of rhetoric, thinking about the credibility of a speaker, emotional and logical appeals, relevance of the material, as well as the parts of an argument. And then I looked at Toulmin and how he organizes them or suggests we organize them. And then I wanted to see why this mattered specifically for today's society. And one thing that came up a lot for me was the prevalence of social media. A majority of Americans are on different social media platforms these days, and it is so easy to get caught up in the snippets or the clickbait on social media, the quick headlines or excerpts that get pushed to us on our different feeds. And it's essential that we don't just trust those things as news. It's important to analyze those things, synthesize all of the information, double check them, and draw our own conclusions. But studies are showing that a lot of people are falling into this news finds me idea, where being on social media, having all of these things pushed to us in our feeds, we're already aware of news. It's already being pushed to us. It's in our day to day life. It's always there, even if we're not seeking it out. And so people are incorrectly assuming that they are informed when really they're not doing all of their research to be fully informed and understand different topics. One huge problem is that people are less informed overall, but also people aren't drawing their own conclusions. A lot of these articles involve other people synthesizing the information for us. And so we are not doing the work and drawing our own conclusions. Also, there's plenty of misinformation. Quotes get misattributed, people misinterpret. And so trusting all of those things without really fact checking and doing our own research has become detrimental to our understanding of the world around us. And I feel that the best way to combat this is through education. And so I also tried to look at suggested lessons and activities. These are things that I have done and found to be effective, or things I would like to try to do. So I love Socratic seminars in ELA classes, allow students to bring in different ads, arguments, op-eds, anything, and analyze it together. They can perform research and write a paper on a topic with certain criteria for their research to make sure sources are credible and don't have any bias. They can also write a paper arguing the opposing side of something they believe, which is such a great exercise because it allows them to really look at an argument as a whole and get a well-rounded understanding of it rather than a more personal or emotional attachment to it. And it's such a great exercise, but I actually was never even assigned to do that until graduate school. So it would be good to start incorporating that a little bit more. We can also do partner presentations where one partner studies one side of the argument and the other partner does the other side, and then they have to analyze the pitfalls and the strengths. And then different forms of debate. My students love pop-up debates where they're given a day or two to prepare and then have to pop up out of their seat to speak, or balloon debates where the class votes on strength of arguments through different rounds and decides who gets to move on to the next round and who's kicked out or has to sit down because their argument wasn't strong enough. So all of these things can really help combat misinformation and help build our students' understanding of argument and research to become more well-rounded and informed citizens moving forward. Thank you.